to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
There's something about Marvel and Tottenham together gives me goosebumps. They just fit together like glove, like putting on a nice pair of gloves. Marvel and Tottenham. I love that intro. I do. A bit of Thanos in there, a bit of Captain America as James Madison. I don't know who Iron Man be in the Tottenham team.
Who would we be? We'd have to decide each Tottenham player who they'd be. Obviously, that would have to say, although Spider-Man's part of the Marvel, and also it's kind of not, but Venom would have to be Venom, right?
Yeah, I would say Romero would have to be the Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk smash, yeah. I agree with that.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not as much of a Marvel fan because I feel like they seem to leave everything in more, disrepair than, how it often began. It seems like, usually, it's the classic, we save the city as it, is crumbling, to the ground.
There was a building over there. Oh, that's where I used to work. Just go and knock it over. More money. And I would say, just very quickly, Sonny Iron Man, because he got that bit of a Tony Stark about him. And Postecoglou would be Batman. I just see him running around.
Marvel.
I know, but I just think
Superman.
No, I think
no. We're going to stick to the Marvel thing. You can't be mixing the.
Okay, who would Postecoglou be in Marvel then, Mia?
He would be
X-Men, right? Professor X, the bald guy.
It'd be Professor X. Or I was thinking of the one that. God sakes, his name's going out my head, but I know who I mean. I'm going to Google it now because it's going to bother me. But
not Doctor Strange.
No. Doctor Strange would. I reckon Doctor Strange would have to be. No, maybe. I haven't got anyone as Doctor Strange to be fair.
I tell you what. Put in the comments which Tottenham players, which Marvel character would it be, and also DC character. I can just see Postecoglou being old man Batman, jumping around in his bat suit, beating up all the Premier League managers as he goes around the country as Spurs go on to win the league. But good evening. Welcome to the Friday night debate. As everyone just tuned in and thought, what the hell have we just started to watch? Philip's thinking that. You can tell. You can see a little bobble on Philip's head. I have no clue what they're talking about. This is not part of my channel. What's wrong with you, Mr. Brady, sitting up there in the corner?
No, I tell you, to be honest, that Marvel and DC, but not my cup of tea. So
You look
I have
Nick
absolutely
Fury.
Nick
That's
Fury.
who.
Yeah,
That's
Nick
who.
Fury,
That's
yeah.
who Postacoglu would be. He's Nick
Nick,
Fury.
He is. You look like a headmaster up there, ready to put us all into detention up
right.
there.
100 lines for each of you. Don't get the subjects going quickly now. Come on, let's get on with the football.
Yeah. Anyway, good evening and welcome to Thfc Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future to this new podcast, the Friday Night Debate. It's a great idea to have it on a Friday night and get just me and Philip bringing two wonderful guests, which we've got tonight. We do ladies first. She is Spurs between the lines. She is the scrappy do of the Spurs community. You would not want to get into a scrap with this one. She's like Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury rolled into one as little scrappy do. She is the one and only Mia from Spurs between the lines. How are you, Mia? And welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Dermot. I hope you're well. And yes, I get called many a thing, and Scrappy Doo is definitely one of my names that I get called. So yeah, I'm definitely a bit of let me at 'em kind of person, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Jack would agree with that too. So would Philip. We're all sitting here in fear, actually, to be honest with you. Okay, if we say something wrong, she might shout at us. And joining us tonight, well, he's been described as the number one US Tottenham fan in the world. He's also been described as Chris Martin, out of Coldplay by my missus. So there you go. And here's the one and only Jack Kanicki from the wonderful Irish Hotspur. How are you, Jack, this evening? And what's it like in New York today? Is it nice, sunny, cold?
I haven't experienced gone outside yet today, Dermot. So I'll have to private message you that with my Premier League predictions as well. But I'm all right, sir. Thanks for the very, 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 very kind intro. Appreciate you.
Nah, that's fine. And next to me is Philip Brady. How are you, Philip?
Yeah, I'm grand. Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He was expecting something more along the lines of what's it, Mia? The Irish Tom Jones or the Irish Elvis? I don't know what they would describe him as.
Irish Tom Jones.
Yeah, he was out. Do you know where he was today, Mia? And last night, he was out going around seeing his fans again. He's partying again.
That's why I'm so tired. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get on with it. Let's crack in with it. And the first question is, look, are Man United the new Spursy? Now, why am I asking that? Now, me and Philip, we got into a bit of a debate over this, me and Philip. Are Man United the new Spursy? Philip said, no, they're not. I say, yes, they are. So we're going to put it to our guests. I'll start with you, Jack. Are Man United the new Spursy this season? We've seen what we were like over the last 4 years, and you look at Old Trafford and you think, we were there before. It seems like us. So are Man United the new Spursy?
I don't know where you've come up with this one for Man United, considering they've won a trophy last season and they even, won the Europa League, I believe, under Jose Mourinho, which actually wasn't that long ago. It feels like, nowadays a lot of time passes, maybe quicker, and it feels like at the same time, it feels like things that were forever ago weren't really actually all that long ago. So if I were to actually pick a team that maybe better qualifies for this Spursy tag that you're trying to lift off of us, Dermatron, and give it to somebody else, I might start to hand it to. This seems really dumb, and and it's probably just because it's Friday evening and I'm being a little loose about my opinion, but in a way, sort of the two back-to-back manners that Arsenal have bottled, kind of their positions, and you would say top four, they handed to us when it was kind of in the bag for them. Antonio Conte, almost gave them a big head start, basically, and he still, was able to take it from them. And then when it came to the league, right, you would say that's also kind of another pretty hilarious manner in which they've decided to bottle it. Not saying that, this season's over and done with in any way, but they also haven't exactly begun this season in any sort of convincing fashion, you would say either. So I would say maybe Arsenal maybe starting to inherit it, but that even still sounds a little ridiculous. I'm not happy to keep the Spursy tag, but I don't know, Tron. I think it takes something, special from, I think, Ange Postecoglou before that starts getting lifted off of us. But I am happy to find a new club to give it to for right now, for sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But Mia,
It can't be Man United. Can't be Man United.
Just the way United have started this season, and that's where I was going with it. The way they've started the season, the way the players are not playing for Ten Hag, it looked a bit like how we were under Conte. And there's a lot of the last couple of years, they may have won trophies, but the way the players are not playing, from Sancho, that he's had an argument with Ten Hag, he's out of the team, he won't be playing. And it doesn't seem a team together or a club that's connected. This is what I'm getting at. Are they the new Spursy? And I'm all looking at more, well, we were last season under Conte. So do you think Jack's right that I'm being a bit unfair on Man United calling them the new Spursy?
Yeah, I've got to concur with everything that basically Jack said. They've won trophies, so being Spursy is what people give us because we don't win stuff, and that's not true of Man United. I can kind of see what Jack's saying about Arsenal. They'd be arsey, by the way, if anything. They wouldn't be Spursy, they'd be arsey, because they have got a bit of a bottle job, seems like, mentality. But then when Arteta came in without his team, but they did win the FA Cup, and they won more trophies recently than what we have. So I don't think you can really dismiss the trophy thing, because we all want trophies. People can't really say all but trophies, because we're desperate for any kind of trophy. The far as what's going on there, it's not really a Spursy thing. It happens at a lot of clubs, and I think they're just being in such a disarray because no one can come in and really sort this mess out properly. Like what basically a bit like what Andrew's done, and drop players that need to be dropped, and sort of say to players, listen, you're not getting involved no more. Break up a bit of what's been going on with the team, of these egos. No one seemed to have been successful with that yet. And I think Ten Hag is seriously struggling with it. I really do. And I can't see him lasting, if I'm honest, if it carries on. Because if they've dropped their heads and they don't want to play for a manager, we all know what's going to happen then, don't we? So,
I mean, Philip, where do you stand on this? I mean, look, I still think they are. I think United are in absolute turmoil. I do. And I think if we look at them, how we were last season under Conte and under Stellini and then under Ryan Mason at the end of the season, after that AC Milan game, that's why I put the Spursy bit. Maybe the guys are right that maybe I'm being a bit harsh, Philip, because they've won trophies. Where do you stand in all of this?
I'm only going to compare last season Spurs with United this season. That's the only time United have looked anything like being Spursy. As Jack and Mia said, they've won trophies. So you can't call them Spursy from that direction. But at the minute, what they've got is they've got a squad of players that would appear to be involved in a dressing room break-up or bust-up or whatever's going on. They don't seem to want the manager to be there. Sancho is a case in point, not even talking to the manager. That's 80 million down the drain. Their stadium has fallen down around them. Fans are walking out of games long before they're finished. They've got two owners that shouldn't be in charge of a chip shop, never mind a football team. So from that point of view, they are Spursy compared to this time last season with Spurs. But as a history lesson over the last 5 or 6 years, no, they're not. But you can only look at the snapshot of what's happening today. And I know I'm talking to United fans every day here, and they're disgusted what's going on in their club at the minute. They're going to Fulham tomorrow, fully expecting to get beat. You know, and when would Man United have ever done that? You know, so they're going through a bad patch. I've no doubt they will get out of it. They'll probably have to sack the manager to get out of it, and also get rid of that Fernandes guy as a manager as a captain, because he is an absolute joke as a captain, and that's where a lot of the problems start. The guy moans about everything. He never seems to, the only time you ever see Fernandes in the game is he's 2 feet from the referee mouthing off at him. So get rid of him. Harry Maguire was a better captain than Bruno Fernandes. So listen, yes and no. They're not Spursy historically. They're Spursy at the moment, but it's temporary.
Yeah. Do you know what I would say? I would say that a lot of the stuff off the pitch hasn't helped, because there's been situations and they're trying to put out fires everywhere, Man United, at the moment, with what's going on off the pitch. And I think that having to handle that as well, I think that's where Ten Hag is also struggling, because I think that isn't easy, because it's ridiculous the amount of things that keep coming out about Man United. And I do agree. I think that the fact, like I just said, they need to break up the ego somehow. They need to stop that. Nobody's successfully done that. And you see my comments in the group chat of what I think about Bruno Fernandes. So I don't need to say no more about that person.
you look at Man United. Like, I grew up in the era and like with Alex Ferguson in charge, and you look at the discipline. You look at Ange at Tottenham. He seems to have given the players a new lease of life at Spurs. And you look at Man United. You look at the greatest managers: Brian Clough, Ferguson. Go back through the years, even Bill Nick, all had that disciplined sort of line, Jack, that if a player stepped out of line, you were in for it. Do you feel Ten Hag, how good he was at Ajax, he's not suited to the Premier League?
I think Ten Hag is showing to not exactly have, I could be totally wrong, like maybe you don't need to be a sort of charismatic character to be the manager of Man United, like in a way, but I think he really lacks the charisma necessary in certain situations when he's under pressure to really make it look like it's not as bad as it is. I don't think he usually helps the situation with how he usually kind of, responds to things. I kind of was already, I don't know if this is kind of weird to say, but I was even alarmed by when he was initially hired by like how poor his English was kind of also as well, like from the beginning. It was kind of hard to really even understand sort of what he had to say in the beginning, like compared to like even someone like, I don't know, like compared to pretty much any other Premier League manager, especially ones that, have mastered other languages and, are kind of one of those poly, sort of lingual people who, speak 3 or 4 languages. Like Ten Hag, to my knowledge, only really speaks Dutch and maybe a bit of German, but like, that's about it. And I was a little alarmed that he didn't speak English well enough. I was a little alarmed that he didn't have kind of that sort of charisma and sort of the moments of pressure to sort of just, kind of in a way draw attention away from the players or draw attention away from the club. Like you see Ange, Jose, pretty much the best of the best. They all have this sort of ability to kind of, when sort of maybe a bit of light is being casted on them or the team or something, they do a decent job in trying to sort of alleviate the situation, at least in some way with their words. Even if nothing has actually changed, they do a decent job in trying to address it. And I think Ten Hag in a lot of separate situations has not done well in how he's addressed things. And I think a lot of that just has to do with his lack of charisma, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Man United's a poison chalice, to be fair. I think they had the same thing when Matt Busby, maybe Philip, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but they went through the same period after Matt Busby left, didn't they? Up to when they got Ferguson.
Franco Farrell took over. He was an Irishman.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow a legend. United have had it twice. They've had Matt Busby, then they had a few dodgy managers, Tommy Doherty included. Then after Ferguson left, look what have happened since then. They haven't had a settled manager either. So it's very hard to follow. Those acts are very, very hard to follow. And I think the problem with United really stems from the very top. Until they sort out that ownership thing, things are never going to be right there. No. It's obviously affecting the whole mentality of the club. And this will I sell it, won't I sell it thing. We're accepting a bid, we're not accepting a bid. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The 2 bids into them now, and they're dithering, that they're making excuses.
Well,
they don't fill up the whole club. They only want to send a portion of it.
Yes. Well, what I've heard from a Man United fan who's well connected with the club is that they're not going with the Qatari bid. They are going for Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid of 25%.
Yeah, but it's like again, tennis. 1 week they're taking the Qatari, well now they're taking Ratcliffe. Next week's probably back to Qatar again. It's dragging on. It's worse than Nation Street.
Yeah, they're willing to offer $6 billion for United.
It's way over the top. Way over
the top. And that sort of really is going to get on to the main talking point tonight about money in football. Just the last bit about this Man United Spursy thing, Mia. Look, we've seen it with us over years when players have given up, managers have got the sack. We had it on the Mourinho, Pochettino, Mourinho, Conte, Nuno. Though I think Conte sort of signed his own death warrant, to be fair. He's sacking with his outburst out of Southampton. But mind you, some of the stuff he said was not wrong. I think it's how he done it, but he signed his own sack warrant. Nuno as well. Do you know, is it hard, Mia, to find the right manager to fit the club? Do you know?
Yeah,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, I always say it's a bit like a jigsaw piece, and sometimes you kind of like get that piece that you think is going to fit, you just like whack it in like it is going to fit. And I feel like a lot of clubs do that. until the right bit comes on. Because when you look at someone like Klopp, Liverpool were a bit down on that right before Klopp come along. They weren't doing the greatest. They weren't winning stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that when you get that right puzzle piece, it just clicks, doesn't it? And I think that can happen. You can get that just perfect, just right puzzle piece, but it doesn't happen all the time. And sometimes that puzzle piece becomes a bit kind of like worn, and then it doesn't fit properly, and then they end up getting the sack. So,
I just think, I don't know if you agree with me, guys, but I think Ten Hag thinks he's doing Man United a favour instead of him wanting to be there.
No, you can't.
No.
See, I don't think you could, even if you had that sort of attitude going into that club, I think you'd be kind of an idiot, to be honest.
Yeah.
No matter how much they fall or how far they fall, they are a bit of sort of just, the reason I don't like them is I just find them to be a bit like the New York Yankees, sort of like kind of the Premier League and just of football in general. Like, you're sort of forced to have to listen to Man United, complaints, and when things go wrong or when things go right, you're just forced to listen to everything about Man United. And I think they're just one of those clubs that will always be, no matter where they are, and sort of they're always, I mean, I think they literally are the most supported club around the world.
They are.
So I don't know about that, Dermot. I don't know if a manager should come in with that attitude.
Yeah, do you know what I think it was Ten Hag? I think that it's the way that maybe his culture I think that's what makes him come maybe across like that. But I don't think he is like that at all. I think it's the cultural difference, because they're very much like they're very straight, but they're not straight in like they're the mannerisms of the way that they're straight can sound really like arrogant, but they're not.
Yeah.
I think it is just the way that they are. I really don't think that about Ten Hag at all.
I like this from Peter M, guys. It says Ten Hag is trying to recreate Ajax up north, and it's not working. I think that's probably a better description.
I don't think he is.
You don't think so, Jack? No.
I think he just admitted to the fact that he said he can't recreate Ajax at Man United. He said he's not going to try, or that it's not possible. Personally, I think when he first came into the Premier League, if you watch that game back versus him and Thomas Frank, his first ever game in the Premier League versus Brentford, he got an absolute hiding from Thomas Frank, right? Where he got really found out. They tried to play actually a possession-based, build out the back sort of type of system, and they got exposed in multiple areas. Eriksen got exposed for trying to play as like a defensive midfielder, dropping deep. De Gea got exposed for not being able to play with the ball at his feet. Maguire got exposed for not really being able to play quick enough. I mean, they got, what was it, 4-0, 5-0, whatever it was. And I think ever since then, he realized that he wasn't willing to be brave enough to continue to try to, play that sort of way, because it meant that he was going to continue to get 3-0s and 4-0s and 5-0s. And he knew that means he would get sacked. So I think he decided to then close up shop. And
that's a fair point, Jack. That's a fair point. Well, look, we're going to move on. We've got a few people in the chat say hello too. We've got Moss Sports World. Do you want to read these out, Philip? Sorry, I'm
not so sure I like the Spuds thing. That's change the D to an R and I'll read it out. How's the Friday treating you? Grand, apart from the Spuds bit.
And the Irish bit. I don't represent Ireland. Sorry, I'm not going to have that.
Yeah, you're an honorary member. You know that, Mia. You and Jack are honorary members. You're honorary citizens. There you go. So,
Moss Sports World again. When you got Evans and Maguire as centre backs, tough to win and play well, but I still think Erik Ten Hag can sort it.
Yeah.
The one thing is, his old team's not doing too well at the moment either. I actually having a terrible time with it.
Yeah. We've got Dan Davenport. Man United are playing like a pub team at the moment. Yeah, that's big up, Dan. And thanks for joining me earlier on the Formula One, Dan. Absolutely loved having you in. We've got Steve D. Zlatan hit the nail on the head. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, that's true.
He gave an interview, I believe.
He did. I saw that. He did, actually. Fair play to him. Peter Rem, big up Dermot, Mia, Philip, and Jack. Big up Gio Ria. How's Chris, your brother? Big up everyone. We've got Peter Rem. Was Nuno ever alive as a Spurs manager?
No, I think he was cryogenically frozen for every game.
I was about to say the results are inconclusive.
Yeah.
Well, I still think he was in the garden centre somewhere as a garden gnome. and they just brought out a statue of a manager pretending to be Nuno and just put him on the touchline. He really was in a garden centre somewhere talking to his other garden gnome mate, Stephen Kenny. We've got Pete Rem. That's my point. He tried and failed. And G.R.E.A. says the dressing room plays a huge part as well. You lose that, you ain't getting full potential from anyone. And
Yeah,
that's
we
so
know
true.
that. We watched from last season.
Yeah,
sure.
we do. And Steve D, it's not as simple as poisonous players' union like Spurs had before. Ange took over and banished it.
Is it not simply yeah.
You know what, though? I think like I just said, though, no one, Steve, has been able to actually come in and do that. It always seems to be there's a few of them left. They can never seem to sort of completely disperse it for some reason.
Yeah, I mean,
he did this season, no? You know,
he did sort out the Cristiano Ronaldo debate debacle quite quickly. He sorted that out. So I don't know, but who cares? They're Man United.
Well, I think about the Spurs end of it, though. Like, look at how divisive the Spurs dressing room was at the end of last season. Now look at it.
Yeah,
fucking cheese.
Yeah, and you look at managers like Mourinho and Conte that bring big egos as well into the job, and they sort of players are then scared to make a mistake because they know they're going to get taken down. You look at Richarlison had a 2-hour rollicking last season, totally shot Richarlison's confidence. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think he is still coming back from that. I don't think he's ever got over that. And I think Ange will get him there. I think we've got to be, that's what I'm saying. We've got to be patient with Richie because he will get there. I think he will. I think he will come good in the end. But I'm so big up to John Fitzpatrick. Big up my Irish brother. Welcome home. Welcome back home to Ireland. And he says, big up Dermot, Phil, Mir, Jack. Come on, you Spurs. Exactly. Well, that's enough talking about Man United. You can now, we're going back to a normal Tottenham football channel now. And I'll start with you on this, Mir. Now, look, we all have our opinions of Daniel Levy and the board and how Tottenham will run on the football side of the club. But I want to park that to one side and look at the business side of the club and all like the NFL games, the boxing, the go-karts and everything else that we're using the stadium for when we're not playing there. Are Tottenham the blueprint how to run a football club now in this sort of new stage of football, how football is presented, how to run a football club? Are we showing everyone this is how you do it? If you do it this way, you can be successful.
Depends what you think about successful, but I get what you're saying. People would argue we haven't been, but
I mean, if you leave the football to one side, Mia, just think of the business side.
But yeah, I get it. But yeah, because part of it is the football is connected. But anyway, we'll leave that. But yeah, I do think that because I do think many other teams are going to find other ways to get money. They need to because of FFP is going to change. And Tottenham are definitely setting a trend because all these different events, etc., they bring in the revenue, which means better for our FFP once the rules change over. So yeah, I think that a lot of clubs are going to look at that. And when they're building newer stadiums, they're going to think to themselves, what can we do like to make sure we get income a bit like what obviously Tottenham have done. So yeah, I do think it is going to be a thing. Definitely more clubs are going to try and do that 100% because like I say, it all benefits them for the income.
Now, Jack, look, I get what Mia's saying. We haven't been successful on the pitch. I think we can all agree with that. I think we all agree with that. More needs to be done. And I think this summer, a lot was done. Last summer, there was a lot in January as well. It started with Bentancur and Kulu, and then with Romero and Venom this season as well. But off the field, do you think the likes of, like, if the stadium's sitting idle doing nothing, are you happy that Tottenham are using it for other things to make the club money, that there's more money going in to the football side for Ange to spend on better players?
I think like to call it a blueprint to run a football club, you do have to look at both sides of it.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I do think in the last, and this is really short-termism, but you could say like in the last year and a half or so, Spurs have actually done a decent job in actually trying to catch up, I think, with the rest of sort of maybe more modern clubs and how they sort of do their recruitment, how they go about sort of their whole kind of, kind of structural kind of process of, bringing in players, managers, etc., improving the academy, improving, certain areas of sort of kind of the general workings of the club. I mean, we've seen a lot more hirings in certain departments. We've seen a lot of firings in certain departments as well. It seems like they've done a real restructuring of kind of the actual footballing side of the club, and they're kind of still doing it, right? With some of these guys that are coming in from Aston Villa and whatnot. But I would argue, since we brought in Paratici, we've seen the youth academy improve dramatically. We've seen the actual age of the squad drop dramatically from what was one of the oldest, average ages in the league to one of the younger average ages in the league. We've signed a bunch of really talented players for actually not that much money. You look at Bentancur, Udogi, as well as guys like Pat Matassar as well. Like, all of them were under 20 million, and there are not many clubs that are actually doing that right now. So if you were just to take the last year and a half in isolation, maybe combined with already all the things that Levy does on the business side that no other club does in kind of the Premier League or really in Europe, I think Spurs in a way could be a blueprint, but that's really short-termism, because what Spurs were practically in the Stone Age, it felt like, when it came to a lot of the things on the footballing side. When it came to recruitment, when it came to the managers that they were trying to bring in, they were always against sort of how Spurs fans wanted to play and what they wanted to see on the pitch and what they were paying, exorbitant fees to come in for. So a lot of things were really backwards, actually, on the footballing side. But I would maybe say, because I'm optimistic and delusional, that the last maybe year and a half have actually been a lot better, and you could say starting to look more like a blueprint for sure.
Yeah. Philip, look, I understand what Mia and Jack are saying, that you have to put, maybe when I was thinking about this question, that maybe I wasn't putting the two together. Maybe you do have to put the two together, which is, I think, I accept that, and maybe I didn't think it that way inclined. But if you look, Gary Neville was asked on his podcast, Philip, after the United lost the derby, if he was to buy Man United, what would he do? And the first thing he said was, I build a proper stadium, build a proper training facilities, and lay the foundations down, and then build your house from there. By the way Levy did it, now we all didn't agree how he did it, Philip. We spent 3 seasons not buying anyone. We weren't very good in the transfer market, but sacked more managers than we did bought players. We haven't been successful. Are we now seeing the fruits of what he did back then by building the stadium and the training facility and laying the foundations for what we're having now to start under Ange?
Right, go back to the Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. The one line in it: if you build it, they will come, right? That's been Levy's mantra, I think, over the years. Okay, it's taken a long, long time, but now I think we can see the revolution of the club is getting near completion now. We got the training ground first, then we got the stadium, right? Then we got problems with managers. We now got that sorted. But it's the background. It's the new chief scout, a new director of football, Scott Munn. That's all coming into that. That's the last piece in the jigsaw, in my opinion. And I can see success coming to the club over the next season or two. Maybe not this season. Maybe not. I hope so, but maybe not. We're certainly going in the right direction. But the thing about the extracurricular activity, I think an awful lot of clubs will follow Spurs' example as they progress into new stadiums and whatever. But let's face it, at the minute, that stadium is idle for 13 days out of every 14, right? So why shouldn't we, bring rock concerts into it, boxing matches, whatever you want to have, NFL. The NFL tie-up is a great thing for the club. So, yeah, I take the shortcomings on the football side. We've been frustrated long enough, but I think the frustration is coming to an end soon. And I think Spurs are okay. There'll be a lot of people who will never ever give Daniel Levy any credit for anything. That's fair enough. But I think when we win our first trophy, people might just say, hang on a bit, he wasn't that bad after all. So that's my opinion. It's coming very soon.
Guys, look, I'll put this to you both. Do you think Levy does deserve credit for what he done this summer? Who wants to go first with that?
I go fight for him. He shouldn't. Does he deserve credit for what he's done?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah, he's done. He's replaced the manager with a manager that the players can relate to, the fans can relate to, that is bringing the style of football we can all relate to. I've been crying out for years. I mean, I've said this before. I got to the stage last season when I dreaded watching Tottenham.
Yeah, we all
because
did.
I just hated what I was watching.
Yeah.
Now I've got my appetite back. I'm buzzing for every game now. Like games I was behind the couch for, up to Liverpool and Man United before. Now I'm saying we're going to beat this lot, and we have done. So yes, he's going to deserve credit. It doesn't hide the fact he made a lot of mistakes, and should hold his hand up and admit that. But you've got to give somebody credit. We knock them when they do something wrong. You've got to put your hand up and applaud them when they do it right. And he certainly got it right this season with the restructuring of the management style of the club. And Ange, of course, has got to take responsibility. No, not responsibility, credit for. I think he's changed the entire atmosphere around the club from a doom and gloom. What's God Almighty, another match tomorrow type mentality. So let's get up on that and we're going to win.
Yeah. I mean, Jack and Emir, look, we all get excited. We want the game tomorrow. We don't want the game on Monday. We love watching Tottenham playing. So as a Spurs fan, over the years, we've all been watching them, Jack. And then I go to you, Mir. We've seen a lot of ups and downs with Mr. Levy. We've seen a lot of frustration, a lot of pulling out hair and can we not win a trophy? And as Mia's rightly said, for a kick here or a kick there or we could have won a couple of leagues, an FA Cup, a League Cup, a Champions League. But now we're seeing the fruits from all the heartache we've been through. It's not bad being a Spurs fan now, is it? It's feels quite good to be a Tottenham fan at this part of the season. And are you impressed by what you're seeing? Did you ever think we would be where we are this time of the season? Top of the league, unbeaten.
Definitely not. But I feel like I'm with Philip that a lot of, I don't know, at one stage it felt like every single micro thing that Levy was doing was then going to always be interpreted as, it was going to be bad or wrong, or it was going to come back to bite us and hurt us. And I think over this summer, he really did have to get a lot of it right. And luckily so. Like, I think maybe it's luck, maybe it's not, but, thankfully so, I should say. He did get a lot of it right. Or the people that he hired, whatever it is, got a lot of it right. Gavinini, as we know, who had that article just released from The Athletic, had a spectacular, what I kind of called it, a study abroad, sort of as like the chief scout and sort of then director of football at Spurs. But he did a terrific job with it and was able to bring in, the right players in certain areas that were really desperately needed, and Mickey Van de Ven and Guglielmo Vicario and other players. And also as well, like in the fact that him and Daniel Levy were able to, some would say kind of mistakenly, some would say luckily, whatever it happened, they were able to bring in Ange Postecoglou, who took this squad, which a lot of people felt like could have been performing a lot better than what it was under Antonio Conte, and was able to gel the squad together, gel the fan base together, and then at the same time be able to play the style of football and the kind of brand of football that Spurs fans are actually willing to pay ridiculous money for and be willing to travel across the world for. And to do that all in the span of whatever small amount of months that's happened is very, very impressive. And I think you have to give credit to every single person involved, and the people that maybe Daniel Levy hired, have definitely, all deserve credit, and he deserves credit for hiring them. Also, too, I just think there were so many things that really could have gone wrong. A lot of things that really could have gone, toxically wrong, and very little has. So I have to give credit to somebody.
Yeah, that's so true. And Mia, very quickly, do you want to end off on this before we go on to our next subject? Do you give Levy credit for what he did this summer?
Yeah, I suppose, like the way I always see it, Dermot, is that if we're going to give him stick, then when he does stuff right, we have to be fair in our way of thinking and give him credit, right? So when he got it wrong with Conte, everyone got on his back. When he did the stuff with Poch, and he didn't back him, people obviously got onto his back, rightly so. But I think now when he does do stuff right, people have a tendency to say, oh, it was so-and-so instead, or it's just luck because we've got Ange, it's lucky that he got lucky with it. And I don't think that's the case. I think that he obviously was. They were looking at Ange, so I don't think it was luck. I think that they looked at Ange, they liked Ange. So I don't think that was luck at all. It's a bit like me.
That was probably part of the narrative, just quickly, Mia, right?
Yeah.
That Levy was just part
Yeah.
of the narrative that even when he does do well, it's luck, that he does well.
That's right. It's a bit like anything in life. Like if you keep doing stuff and you're working hard and things are going well, is that lucky? Is that lucky if you get a promotion, or is it because you worked hard? I just think that not all of it can be luck, right? So far, I think we do have to give him a bit of credit. Yeah. I'm not saying that by any means that he's been fantastic or anyone should forget the past or instantly be, Levy's fantastic. No, absolutely not. He needs to continue to prove it to a lot of people, including myself, to show that things are going to change. But you can't not give him credit for the stuff he's done so far, because I think that's a bit disingenuous with your argument if you're going to do that.
I mean, Steve D puts in, no one can argue his business acumen, but surely it's football club first and foremost and should be judged on the pitch, not the stock market. I agree with that. I mean, we all agree it should be the football club first, but to build a dynasty at football club, you have to get your infrastructure right. You have to get your foundations laid. And that means a good youth system. That means good scouting. That means a good technical director. That means a good football director. It means getting in a good manager. And you look at all the greatest clubs in the world. You look at United's, Liverpool, the most successful in the 80s. You look at Nottingham Forest, who won back-to-back European Cups. You look at teams, even Chelsea under Mourinho, all had good systems around them, and you need that. So I think, look, where I would agree with you on that, Steve D, I do agree with you on that. I do think, though, we are now seeing the fruition of what Levy was trying to do, I think. And then Gio's put Mio the GOAT. Yeah, Mia the GOAT. Yeah, that is for sure. You still all right for time, Jack?
I think I have about 5 to 6 minutes, Dermotron, but I can do the next question if you like.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to start with you. Now, I come from an era where there was football on telly. Every Sunday, I don't know if you can remember this, the big match or the FA Cup was on the Saturday or Sunday on the BBC or ITV. And it was great. Then Sky came in with the Premier League. Totally upset the whole apple cart completely. You had to go and buy a dish to run football. And in England and Ireland, we didn't have prepaid television to watch stuff. I don't know what it was like in America, Jack, when you were young for sports and that. Was that all free to air as well back when you were younger?
No, I think you always pay for cable.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah. You pay for your cable box, and now I don't even know if people use a cable box anymore, but you pay for your cable box.
Yeah. Now, the football rights are coming up now. TV rights for the UK and Ireland are up in 2 years' time. So is this the right time now to take the ban of 3 p.m. kickoffs and put more games on free-to-air television? I'll start with you, Mia. Look, me grew up in a time where football was on free-to-air, wasn't it? You had the England internationals, you had Ireland games playing on the BBC or ITV, the FA Cup, the First Division on the
Champions
Sunday.
Champions League used to be on ITV. Yeah. I remember watching it.
Yeah. Do you think there should be more football and more sports on free-to-air television for families that can't afford Sky or BT Sports or whatever, or Now TV, whatever device they want to watch it on?
Yeah, so I do, but do I think that's a feasible thing to happen? Absolutely not, because there's so much money in it, and the money that Sky give, I think that to put it on any sort of free TV would be beneficial financially. So I just don't think it's going to happen, Dermot. So it's something that I don't even worry myself about, because I know it ain't going to happen.
Jack, do you think there needs to be more football on free-to-air television, or more soccer, or more sports on free-to-air? Do you think not everyone can afford cable or Sky or HBO or ESPN? Do you think there needs to be a bit of give and take? It's okay having it on them platforms, but you also got to think of the majority of the population that can't afford that. So do you think there has to be a bit of give and take in this when this comes up and the rights come up in 2 years' time?
I think sadly, Dermot, it's really headed the opposite direction at the moment. From what I've heard, they're actually investing a ton of money, whatever, company happens to have the rights of the Premier League. They're investing a lot of money into kind of the free sharing of games. So whenever you go to just find, like a free, stream of the game, they're actually now like investing a lot of money into, trying to stop that, the manners in which people go about, being able to distribute it and things like that. They're actually investing like close to millions of dollars into it because they expect people to pay the money for it so they can get a return on their investment in some way. They don't want to spend these. I mean, it's probably the most expensive, rights deal maybe out there when it comes to sports, being able to get the Premier League deal. And so I think they're going to try to do whatever they can to make people pay as much money as possible so that they can get a quick return on the investment. For the amount of money it's going for, Dermot, it could be for free.
I know, I understand. I understand what you two are saying. I really do, and I get you, and I do understand what you're saying. But Philip, look, this for me started back when the Premier League was created. And I went through the archives, right? Let me just move you up here, Jack. Nobody wants to see my ugly mutt, so Mia keeps telling me.
It's the truth. Sorry, the truth hurts.
I know,
Just
but
being
there
honest.
you go. There you go. Somebody loves me. But these are, hang on, we're not in 2016, 2017. Hang on, let's go back. Let's go back a bit. Come on, Dermatron. You're not doing a good job here. I know. Where's this going?
It feels like knowing Titanic, 84 years. It feels a bit like that.
Yeah, there you go. Now, on the 20th of February 92, the clubs in the first division very quickly decided they wanted to break away from the Football League, and of course, the creation of the Premier League was started. Now, Philip, Sky paid $304 million for the TV rights for 92, 93 to 96, 97. Do you want to tell people how they got that? Because they got it a bit sneakily, and Tottenham were involved in this, by the way. Well, our chairman was.
Alan Sugar was involved in it.
Yeah.
Because I think ITV were up against them, weren't they? And Greg Dyke was in there somewhere. And I forget the actual ins and outs of it. But Alan Sugar, I think he must have leaked, or somebody leaked what the ITV bid was. Sky obviously increased it, and then Alan Sugar got the contract to supply all the dishes for people to watch the games on Sky Sports. There's probably more to it than that, but that's the gist of it.
What happened was he was actually in the meeting. He went to a phone box during the meeting, rung up whoever was at Sky, told them his exact words was blow them out of the water.
Yeah, that's it.
That was his exact words, Alan Sugar, to the Sky man. Sky went in, blew ITV and BBC out of the water. So 304 million. Then as the years have gone on, then it went up then to 670 million. And then they paid over $1 billion for the TV rights. And it just, as years goes on, other companies have come in, like Santander Sports for 1.7 billion. Again, ESPN then at 1.7 again billion, 3 billion in 14 to 16. And then for 17 to 18, 19 was 5.1 billion. This is with BT Sport.
I think that's up to current date, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the new bid that's in at the moment, the current bid, it was an extension of that, but I think they paid another I think they added it up to 6 billion for the rights.
Yeah, well, that now, more or less says it's not going to be any more free-to-air TV.
No,
because the dearer it gets, the less chance that ever happens. Do you know why? That's why so many people are buying dodgy boxes now.
Yeah. I mean, the likes of Netflix want to get involved. Amazon Prime, there's matches on there now. I think Disney Plus want to get involved in it somewhere along the line as well. Discovery Plus do. Yeah. So there is a lot. Look, I don't know where to go, but sort of I go with you on this, Mia. Look, we all love our sport. We all love Tottenham. We all love soccer, the World Cup and everything. We all love.
I might need to go probably.
Okay.
John, I think, but Thanks for having me, sir.
No,
thanks for having me, guys. I
Do
appreciate
you,
it.
do you want to give the Irish Hotspur a must-have play, please? It's the best channel
Listen
around.
to Dave and I argue about Aston Villa's recruitment team that we're hiring. Basically, we just talked about if Levy's obsessed with that Aston Villa recruitment team, and maybe he's obsessed for a good reason, or maybe he's obsessed for a bad reason. You know, like me and I just discussed. Not giving credit for maybe anything, but we just discussed about that. That's happening tomorrow. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. It was good to be on this, and you know, I like kind of just talking about other things other than Spurs. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
But
it's that.
I have a date with a carne asada.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's all right for some, isn't it?
Doing some home cooking, and it takes a while.
Yeah, that was the idea behind this podcast, to talk something different than Spurs. That was the whole idea behind it. And Tequila says Jacko without the cap looks like movie star Jacko.
Oh, Tequila! I expect now the missus to give me just as nice a compliment. You know, after
Actually,
that.
Jack, you know, I've just noticed that without the hat, there is a passing resemblance to Ryan Mason in there.
Dave thinks I look like the guy from Power. He was also in what was it? Ozark. He was one of the.
Yeah.
There's a white guy with freckles, similar. You know, there's a blonde kind of guy that Dave thinks I look like from Power. But yeah, I appreciate it.
And apparently, Jack, before you go, he says apparently, and Elvis is above him. So you're Michael Jackson and I'm Elvis. So there you go. So we're two quite popular music stars.
Surrounded by good people, Mia.
Start a band.
Yeah, start a band. Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, Jack.
Yeah,
Thank you
Jack,
for coming on. Please. And everyone get over to the Irish Hotspur, the greatest channel around.
Thank you, guys.
Also, Mia Spurs Between the Lines as well. Another great channel as well. And we're the third best channel on YouTube. Just a few. Yeah, that's where I was going with this, Mia. That was it. Do you feel like the Premier League? Do you feel the Premier League and the Premier League clubs are just thinking about money instead of thinking about the fans? Because season tickets have gone up, pricing tickets have gone up. The Joe blog, like if I would say you wanted to take the two boys to Tottenham, right? It would cost you an arm and a leg to go there, including the traveling, the tickets, if they wanted something to eat, a program, something from the club shop. Where when I used to go, it used to cost me and my dad like a tenner each for the ticket. A program was $1.50 and the hot dog was about €3. So you could go there with £100 and have a good day out. Do you feel football clubs are now are they becoming too corporate? If you know what I mean, are they becoming too
right? So the problem we've got, Dermot, is that this happens, right, where people say, but what about this and what about that? And then complain that we don't have enough, like that the money coming in will probably affect the FFP or that we can't get players. We have to get money from somewhere. So I kind of understand it from a business sort of point of view. We can't just allow everybody to obviously have stuff for free and then obviously not be able to get money because we're going to get money from the club basically.
Yeah.
Then that money is a substantial amount. The money they get from the TV rights, like it is a substantial amount. So I kind of get it from a business point of view. From a fan's point of view, of course, we'd all like to see more things, like have more sport on the TV for free. Of course we would. However, unfortunately, that ain't going to happen, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's not going to.
Tequila says, I prefer the small channels. No offense, though. We're not a big channel. We're a small channel. Compared to other channels around us, me and Mia's channels are like two small pods we're small fishes in a big pond. Just getting our elbows out and just, poking a few away.
Joe, what? I feel like my channel is me, and however big it gets. Like at the end of the day, that I'm not going to change who I am. So if you like me and you subscribe, then that's good. And it's lovely that people come and support me. I've got loads of lovely people who come and support me. Yeah. So
I mean, me and Philip as well. Me and Philip, we love doing this channel. We love the people that come in. You come in quite a lot as well, me, and we all have a laugh and a joke, and we go off in different directions. Especially with you, we could go into dungeon eras when you come on. We've got talking about dog collars and everything. Jesus, we SMN a lot. I still can't forget the time you said Daniel leaving the dog collar. I'd still think of that sometimes and laugh. But don't we, Philip? We love it, don't we? We don't feel like a big channel, do we?
No. It's small and personal. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, but we still like to get to 2K. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I know Mia would like to get to 2K too.
Oh, I'm not saying people shouldn't. I don't want people to subscribe. Obviously, people. It's not. It shows that obviously you want to watch the channel, but I feel like that I will grow at my own rate, and it is what it like. I'm not worried about it. I don't keep really saying, "Oh, please subscribe," because I just feel like if you want to, it'll be really nice, and I want people to genuinely support me because they want to.
Yeah, and look, a lot of people saying doing a great job. Look, and we don't always say, we don't even go on about asking for super chats all the time. We may put it in now and again, or memberships and that. We enjoy doing this because we love bringing you top content, and we love bringing you new ideas and different podcasts and different shows that we can bring you, that you can get involved in. And that's what it's all about. It's all about you. It's not about me or Philip or Mia. It's about you, the people that watch us, the people that subscribe to us, the people that take times out of their busy days and watch us. It's all about you. That's what it's about. And we have to keep you happy. Not right, Mr. Brady?
Yep, that's it in a nutshell. Yep.
See, Philip keeps me on the go. Right. Where we're going, guys? Where we're going? I tell you what we'll do. Shall we get our match day predictions? Because I know Mia wants to pop off in a minute. So I tell you what, shall we get our match day predictions and get them in?
Yeah, well, I got a piece of paper here and write all these down.
And then I will send these to Jack as well. So get Jack's. Now, the winner of this competition at the end of the season will get a little prize. So we think of something, but there will be a winner. And whoever finishes bottom gets relegated. So at the moment, I'm bottom. Now, Mia, we're going Fulham, Manchester United. It's a 12:30 kickoff. Tomorrow, a Craven Cottage. United on the dodgy spell. Fulham on such a good run as well. What do you reckon? Who's going to win that one, United or Fulham?
Fulham.
Yeah.
Philip?
I'm going for Fulham as well, yeah.
Do you know what? I don't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going for Man United.
Okay.
So
two Fulhams and the United.
Yeah, just let me just quickly. Sorry, guys. That's it. Right, who we're going for next? Now, the first 3 o'clock, we've got Brentford against the bobble-blowing Barney the Dinosaur Binoculars team from West London. Mia, what's your thing there for Brentford West Ham? It's going to be a tricky game for West Ham, I think, this one.
I think it might be a draw.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Philip, just give you a bit of context to this, Philip, right? West Ham have only won 1 out of the last 5. They've lost the last 2, and Brentford have won the last 2. So Brentford are unbeaten in 2. United are on the losing streak of 2. So what are you going for there?
I'm going for Brentford. They beat Chelsea last week. Why can't they do the same to the Bubble Boys?
Yeah, I think I'll go for Brentford as well, Philip. So I'm going for 2 for Brentford, 1 for a draw.
Yeah.
So now we've got Burnley, who Crystal Palace now they've only won 1 out of the last 5. Last 2 games they've lost. And Burnley, well, they've lost the last 3 on the spin. Mia, where are you going for this one?
Palace. I think they've got Eze back as well, actually.
They have, yeah.
That will be a big boost for them because Eze is some heck of a player. So, yeah, I think I'll give Palace a chance. I think they'll win.
Yeah, I'll go for Palace as well.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for Burnley. I don't know why. I just think Burnley might nick it. I think, look, they've lost the last 3. I know Palace have lost the last 2, but I think Burnley got to break their ducks sooner or later.
Where are you in the table when it comes to predictions?
Yeah, I am bottom, but I am making a comeback.
Just about to say.
Yeah, I'm making a comeback. I'm like Rocky coming out the 15th round. You know, I can't see out of one eye. The other eye's closing, and I'm just...
You're like the least Rocky I can think of, but okay, I'll let you have that.
Oh, thank you, me. You're very kind. I don't know. Where do we get them from? I don't know. What was that? Oh, yeah. We've got Everton, Brighton now. Everton, of course, won the last game out, won 3 out of the last 5. And Everton against Brighton, who are 7th, who've actually haven't won in the last 4 games, 2 wins and 2 draws. Guys, Mia, look, good win for Everton during the week in the League Cup, in the quarterfinals of that competition. Good win in the league as well last weekend. What are you going for with this one?
Do you know what? It's at home to, with Everton. They haven't been great, but they've sort of, they're a bit up and down, Everton. But I don't think Brighton are, definitely they're looking at slightly different, I think. But they've still had, again, good games. So I'm going to go for a Brighton win, I think. I think they'll have too much for them because of the way that they play.
Yeah, I'm going for Everton.
Why? What's your idea?
They're on a good run at the moment. They've won a few games. Since they're unlucky to lose to Liverpool, they've done pretty well. And Brighton are blowing hot and cold. You don't know which Brighton's going to turn up. So I'm going to give Everton the benefit on that one.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm actually going to agree with Mia. I think Everton could win this. I'll tell you why. I said
Brighton.
Oh, Brighton. Well, I'm going for Everton. I tell you why. I think with Ken Wright, I was listening, with Ken Wright passing and then winning West Ham, I think that's given them the incentive to, to get going. And also, just very quickly on Everton, Tequila has asked, have you guys covered the Delhi thing? Yeah, Mia, what's your thoughts on Everton? We're going to mention it more in the build up in our pre-match show tomorrow, but Everton are beginning talks to get out of paying the 10 million to Tottenham and using Delhi's mental health, I think, as a excuse not to pay. Where do you stand on that very quickly?
I think it's not it's terrible that they're doing that, but what I will say is they're in massive trouble right now, Everton. Yeah. So I think they're just trying. When you've got a hole in the boat and you're just trying to empty it out with a little cup. That's what Everton are trying to do. They're trying to empty filling up with water. They've got a hole in it with a tiny little cup, a little thimble, and they're like trying to get it out. And I think that's what Everton are trying to do. And while I don't agree with it, and it's not nice, it's terrible and disgraceful that they're doing that and using his mental health. I think that's an awful, awful thing to do. I think that's the logic behind it. I'm not justifying the logic, but I think that's the logic.
Sharon died. Yeah, go on, Philip. Sorry. No, go on.
No, I think it's okay trying to negotiate a lesser price. That's fair enough. But bringing a man's mental health into it is absolutely disgusting, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
I think Sean Dyche has said that he can reignite his career, so he's confident.
But I know you get him on the cheap because of a problem he's got at the moment.
Yeah,
isn't fair.
Mayor, I know you need to go to me as well, so I'm very conscious of that. What you said before, we'll get through these Premier League reviews and we'll let you plug your channel. Me and Philip will finish off the podcast with the last question. Manchester City, Bournemouth, Mia, where are you going with this one?
Man City.
Yeah,
it has to
Philip?
be Man City. Yeah, it has to be Man City.
Mind you, Man City, I've only won 3 out of the last 5, Philip.
But they played United off the pitch last week. They're getting there.
Yeah.
Bournemouth won't be a problem.
Well, Bournemouth won the last game out, but mind you, they've won 1 at the last. Look, I'm going to agree with you, Man City as well. It'd be a City home win. Though, now, Sheffield United against Wolves. Sheffield United, bottom of the league, have not won a game at all this season. And Wolves are sitting in 12th place, unbeaten in the last 5, 3 draws and 2 wins. Mia, where are you going for this one? Wolves playing quite good football at the moment.
Yeah, they seem to have clicked a little bit now, and I'm definitely going for a Wolves win. Definitely, I think. I think it'll be like a 2 or 3-0, if I'm honest.
Philip, where you going?
Comfortable Wolves win.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with you. Wolves win. I have to make some backup now, and then of course we've got the crunch game live on Sky Sports tomorrow night. We're all glued to this game, praying for a Newcastle win. Newcastle against Arsenal. Newcastle now, guys, I will give you their little run. Unbeaten in their last 5, 3 wins and 2 draws. Arsenal, of course, unbeaten as well, and they haven't lost the game this season. Unbeaten in the last 5, 3 wins and 2 draws. Mia, Mia, where do you see this one going?
Where I want it to go and where I see it going are two different things. I think that I don't think it's going to be maybe as easy a game as maybe people think. I think that it's going to be quite a tight game, but I can see Newcastle nicking it. I can. Although I think actually a draw will probably be better for us overall, because if they are going to improve like Newcastle and be up there trying to get a place for Europe, surely we want them to get as least possible points. So I would say a draw, even though I'd hate for Arsenal not to lose. I want them to lose, but I've just got a feeling that it's going to be a Newcastle win. I'm going to be honest.
Philip, where are you going?
I want Arsenal to lose, but I think it'll be a draw.
I'm going for Newcastle win. I just look, Arsenal for me. Look, they've got a few injuries. Odegaard is carrying a knock, a slight knee knock. They've got a few. That Rowe player has now been ruled out to after the international break as well. So they've got a few injuries. Arsenal coming into this game. They still can't sort out the goalkeeping situation. It's laughable watching Lego Man on the sidelines crying when he can't even his goalkeepers can't do a job right. And they lost to West Ham of all teams in the week. So Newcastle win for me. I'm going for that.
For a draw or a Newcastle win?
I don't know. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to. Joe, what I want it to be a win, but I don't know if it's. I don't know. I'm going to say draw. Actually, I've changed my mind. I think it is going to be a draw, because I just think, like I say, as much as I want Newcastle to win it, but I just don't think it's going to be as easy as what maybe people think.
Now we're going to bonfire night. I'm sure Mia will be letting a few fireworks out. Bonfire night on Sunday.
No, bloody won't. My dogs just bark at them. Although they're pretty good, they're not scared, but they're pretty good. But the fireworks are a pain in the ass with dogs, because they do tend to bark at them.
Shocking.
Now we're going to Forest Villa. Villa unbeaten in the last 5, 4 wins and a draw. Unbeaten at home. They haven't lost at home for 12 games, by the way, Villa. So they've done pretty well away from home, and they're Nottingham Forest. Haven't won, but they've drawn 3 and lost 2 in the last 5. Mia, are you going for a Villa win?
Yeah, I'll go for a Villa win. I think away they've not been as good, Villa, but I think they've got too much for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
easy Villa win.
Well, Villa have only won 2. They've won 2, drawn 1, lost 2 away from home. They've only picked up 7 points away on their travels this season, where Nottingham Forest actually, where's Forest here? Forest have actually only picked up 4 points away from home. So
Forest at home, so the home form is more relevant on that one.
Yeah. So look, I'm going for. Do you know what did you go for, Philip?
Oh, Villa.
I'm going for a draw. I'm going for a draw on that one.
Okay.
Well, I hope Villa have continued bad form away, because I'm going to that game, for the Tottenham game. I'm going to it.
What, the Villa?
I'm buzzing. Yeah. I'm buzzing
luck.
to go.
Now, look, we all got a soft spot for Luton. Not a lot happens in Luton, to be fair. Luton wouldn't be missed as a town if it was to disappear.
No, I do not represent those views. Sorry to the people of Luton.
I've worked in Luton. I live near
Luton. People from
Luton.
Luton coming to find again. I don't represent those views. Okay, whatever he says, it isn't me. Spurs between the lines. We support Luton.
Now
it's fine. We like Luton Town.
You haven't even let me finish. Right. We have taken Luton as our channel team, as the football club. Now I'm talking about the town. If Luton could be moved somewhere else, the football club, brilliant. But the town is nobody. Well, I've been in Luton on a night out, and let's put it this way. I'm trying to think of the roughest place in Scotland.
The Gorbals in Glasgow.
That if you went, that would be like you could walk through there. That's better than going to Luton on a night out.
Jason, you better never fly into Luton Airport, doing, but they won't let you in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologise to people of Luton Town for his disgusting behaviour.
Yeah. I like the football club though. The football club's brilliant. I love the stadium. The stadium's brilliant. Especially the fella you have to walk through his house to get to the stadium. I think that's brilliant. Anyway, Mia, Luton against Liverpool. What are you going for?
Unfortunately, I think Liverpool are going to win.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get. I think they're going to get a penalty decision that isn't a penalty because now the referees are all like, "Oh, poor little Liverpool," and they won't get a player sent off, even though a player should be sent off.
Just to give you a quick thing on that, Mia, Liverpool have only won 4 out of the last 5. They've got 3 wins, a draw, and a defeat. And Luton Town are in the bottom 3, have actually won 1 of the last 4. So 3 defeats, draw, and a win.
So we're all going for Liverpool in this one.
Don't talk for me.
No, I said, are we? I'm asking the question.
I'm going for Luton.
Do you like being at the bottom of the table?
Yeah,
like,
do you know what?
Do you?
It feels like I'm holding you lot up. It's a nice feeling. I don't like sitting at the top.
I like sitting on the throne at the top. So I want to win. I don't want to be holding on up.
Yeah. Anyway, look, even FJT, come on, Luton. Exactly.
Yeah,
come on, Luton.
I'd like for Luton to win, but it ain't going to happen. Let's be honest.
Yeah, same here. It would give me great pleasure to see Liverpool actually humiliated tomorrow, but it's not going to happen on Sunday.
Nothing wrong with Luton, says Peter Wren. Vauxhall, yeah, they used to make the Vauxhall there. The airport, not a bad airport. Lorraine Chase.
We used to reckon you should. Sorry, go on.
And in Bev Brewery, come on. There's a very good casino in Luno as well.
You should never buy, back in the day, you should never buy a Vauxhall or a Ford. No, Ford was dagging right. You should never buy a Vauxhall that was built on a Monday because half the workers would be pissed after the weekend. They wouldn't put together half right at all.
Now, we're going to Monday, the 6th of November, the day after Bonfire Night, the day of Guy Fawkes.
Ooh, this is our Bonfire Night.
Huh?
This is the Tottenham Bonfire Night.
Yeah. Tottenham against Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea. Actually, Chelsea's record last 5 games, 2 wins, a draw, and 2 defeats. They lost last time out, of course, and Spurs have won the last 4 on the bounce, with 4 wins and a draw, unbeaten this season, 8 wins, 2 draws. They've scored 22, conceded 9, 26 points. Mia, are you going the way I hope you're going to go?
It's going to be a Tottenham win, of course.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
Absolutely.
Mr. Brady? He's on mute. You can't get the staff these days. We can't hear you.
Well, I don't know how that muted itself. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, we're the only team in the Premiership not to have been given a penalty this season.
Yeah,
but that's going to change on Monday, and we're going to win.
Yeah, look, I'm going. Look, I said it earlier in Newsbeat. I'm not. Everyone's banding around 4-0 or 2-0. I'm going for a Spurs win, but I'm going for a 2-1 win.
Oh, that's I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, it's going to be very tight.
Yeah, I said 3-1. I think it's going to be 3-1. I think we might get a last-minute third one because once if we score, their heads drop. So I think that's why we can maybe get a third. I think their heads are going to drop. We'll be winning, and I think that's how it's going to go because I've seen that a couple of times with them. As soon as they get a goal against them, they haven't got that mentality and their heads drop and they don't know what to do. So. I'm not like saying it's going to be super easy, but I don't think we're going to lose that game.
Well, look, we are going to end off here now. This is the last question. The rest now we've left, we're going to use tomorrow, Philip, when we do our pre-match and around the grounds and make it a bit funky. Playing with a bit of funky music in the background. I don't know what I'm saying now. Mia, is the Premier League the best league in the world? Or do you think there's another league out there that's better?
I think this is a bit of a subjective thing. I think the Premier League has got a lot of quality, but I think that we have had the same team win it for like enough years to say that is it not just becoming like some of the other leagues really, where the same teams win it. So is it the best? I would say it's up there. Definitely, I would say it is a very good league, like I say, to watch. It is competitive. I think the lower teams have always got a chance of beating a big team.
I
suppose. I know.
Now,
Yeah.
look, Philip, I love watching the Spanish league. I've loved watching the Italian league as well. The German league, I think it's great crack to watch because I think the fans are nutcases over there. They're absolutely off their rockers. You look at the Scottish league, Philip. We follow Celtic. Only 2 teams win up there. Look, is the Premier League the best league in the world, Philip, or do you think for value, for better football, the Spanish league is better than the Premier League or the Italian league?
No. I think the Premier League is. I mean, okay, it's subjective. Really. Anyone in Italy, I think the Italian league is the best league. Spain, likewise. I think the worldwide interest in the Premiership surpasses the other lot by quite a lot. So I think the Premiership has to be taken to the best league in the world. You know. Yeah.
And look, one more question, Philip. While Mia's there, look, we're going to more in this tomorrow about the international and player welfares and everything like that. If that's okay, Philip.
Yeah.
Look, just one question, and if you're there, Mia, just one more. What happens when the bubble goes bang? What happens if Sky was to take out the money out of football? Do you think the clubs like Tottenham and other clubs that are well run that will survive? But if you look at Manchester, you look at Chelsea or Man United, and clubs that have got state ownership that pull out their money, they could be in serious trouble if Sky was to pull the plug on putting money into the football.
No, they'll just find another way. They're going to make their own channel, aren't they, to put games on. So I don't think it would ever happen. I think that they'll just find another way to make sure they got the money and that games are televised or another company will come in. There's so many other companies that want to have games, so that's all that will happen.
Yeah. Philip?
Like in a doomsday scenario, say Sky did pull out, right, and there was no one, just say there was nobody else coming in, or nobody with big money, then the likes of Tottenham will survive because we've got the extra income streams other teams don't have. So, you know.
But it is boiled down to, isn't it, the economy? If the world economy was to take a downturn, and just say big companies been going for years do go bang.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just say, for example, if the money stream stopped and there wasn't the money there, the likes of Newcastle or Chelsea or Manchester United or Liverpool, they could be in serious problems.
Well, if they're relying on TV money, yeah, they probably will be. Newcastle wouldn't be because they're back by the bottomless pit of the Saudi Arabia. They'd be
but
okay.
if they were to pull out, though, Philip, that's the point I'm making.
Why would they? They money from TV. Newcastle could survive without any TV money because of Saudi. Saudi won't pull out unless they have to. The likes of private ownership clubs, they'd be more at risk because their money might be gone.
But we're private ownership, though. Tottenham are private
ownership. But I'm saying we've other income stream. We can turn to having, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is a rumor going around. There is a rumor going around. I'm trying to get it confirmed that the man that went in for Man United is going to put a bid in for Tottenham.
That's been floating around for months, Dermot.
Yeah, but I've heard Philip. I haven't talked to you about it yet, but I did hear something the other day from somebody that there's more traction to it than what people realise.
Maybe.
I'm waiting to get that confirmed. Just a few comments here. Yeah, just a few comments here. Tequila Saudi is the best league in the world. Just ask my bank account.
Yeah,
fair enough. So Peter M says the best league is the one you watch. Steve D says it has the most depth, top to bottom, but I don't subscribe to the best. That's subjective.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to say. Stop trying to steal my thoughts, Steve D. I already said that. He steals my thoughts all the time.
FJT says the Premier is the top tier. Peter M says someone said the Premier League is the best league in the world, but the best football is played by the best Spanish clubs. They win more Champions League than English clubs. Exactly. I think the German league is a great league to watch, by the way, guys. Honestly, I really do.
By the way, do you see the other night, just mentioned that Saarbrücken of the third division beat Bayern Munich in the German Cup?
Yeah. Can I just say Harry Kane wasn't playing? He wasn't even picked.
It just shows you the romantic.
Who cares? Who bloody cares?
I thought you care. You told me before we came on, you miss Harry Kane like mad. You're crying every night.
I hope he wins nothing.
there is a curse with that player, and he's now bringing his curse to Bayern Munich. If they win nothing this season, that proves that player's cursed. There you go. I would say Premier League has the best players, but City winning it every year is pretty dull. If you ask me, it is.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then they said it should be like Netflix, Amazon Prime. The likes would be queuing up. Yeah, exactly. VPN for me, once my contract with BT is up, so I guess it doesn't matter because Peacock is around in the US. And it's around in the US, but yeah, it should be more like Netflix setup. Be grand. You should always pull, not fill. You should always pull out, Phil.
If you're not, that's just sort of going over your head. I know exactly what he means. Naughty tequila.
Yeah, very naughty tequila. Well, it isn't the worst thing, to be fair, you've been called this week, is it, Philip, to be fair?
No, that's true. That's true.
No, you were called T-Rex.
That's not what he's calling him. He's implying that you should... I don't know.
Yeah, I know what he's saying, Mia. I'm trying not to go down that rabbit hole. But,
I mean, it depends if you call it a rabbit hole with a sleeve. Like, it depends on who you're going with, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it does. But we did work out that Philip was around for the dinosaur extinction. He is a T-Rex and apparently survived all the years because he was smart because he went underground. He built himself a dungeon with Romero.
We're going to have to start introducing him with Jurassic Park music.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. Jake loves doing that to me.
What a pity the internet wasn't invented around Jurassic Park time, so I'm not even here at the moment.
No, we did say that actually, and to that person, he hasn't been back in since. But I really wanted Philip to say something to him. LOL, sorry. Yeah.
You're not really sorry though, Tequila, are you?
You'll have Mr. Brady after you, Tequila. That man sends horses' heads out quicker than Linford Christie runs down 100 meters.
Oh, you can't take Tequila. He's one of my workers. I can't have Tequila out of the action. I need him.
Yeah, and then we say Mia gets it. I got it too, Tequila. It took me a while, but I did get it.
It did take me long at all to understand what you meant.
Yeah, but we all know how your mind works, Mia. You're more filthier than me, but I did get it. Right, on that bombshell, we're going to let Mia plug her channel. We're going to let her plug her channel, and then me and Mr. Brady are going to tell you what's coming up in the next few days. Oh, we've got, are you guys going for United or Bayern?
Oh, yeah, they're playing the Champions League.
I'm going for... Do you know what, Philip? If that's on the day, can we do a watch-along to that?
Oh, only if it's a Wednesday. No, I can't. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm not around.
I'm still going to do a watch-along to that.
Unless it's a 5 o'clock kickoff or something.
Yeah. I'm going for... I don't know what. I'm going for Bayern Munich for that one. Mia, who would you go for, United or Bayern?
I think Bayern. I don't think Man U have got enough.
This week, have they?
Yeah, I think they are.
I'm just looking it up here now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Champions League.
I remember when T-Rex were Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, Jesus. No, they're not playing this weekend. They're playing Bayern Munich are playing Galatasaray, and United are away to Copenhagen. So it's not this week.
It's not. It's the next one. I remember when T-Rex was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, two-man folk group with Mark Bolan on the guitar, and Steve Peggery took on the bongos.
Yeah. That's him.
Were you on the bongos, Philip?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bayern just rub it in more. United. Sorry, Colm, if you see Colm's working late tonight. He was due to be on tonight, but he had to work late. And then Steve, I'm doing my nails. Oh, what colour are you doing them, Steve? Mia would like to know. Mia, where can people find you? Let me put you on a big screen here. So
no, don't put me on big screen. I don't like it. Never mind. Like
it won't even work anyway. So there we go. There we go. That work. Mia, where can people find you on Spurs Between the Lines?
At Spurs Between the Lines. That's all you need to know.
Logical.
That you know what? That's the best plug I've ever heard somebody do. Anyway, Mr. Brady, what have we got coming up in the next few days? I'm going to go back top here while we're discussing our channel.
Any more comments? Like something on my dinner could be coming up soon. Anyway. No. What are we doing? We're doing around the groundish sort of thing tomorrow. The 3. We're doing this sprint at the Formula One in Brazil.
Yeah, sprint race, Philip.
About 6 o'clock, is it?
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock.
Well, what's after that? Because my mind has just gone dead at the minute. So
nothing. We're having Saturday night off.
Oh, great.
And then we're back. I'm back on Sunday doing the Formula One. Me and Colin at 5 o'clock. I tell you, doing Formula One on your own is hard. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I went on right. Delayed the start qualifying for 15 minutes, so I had to think of something to say for the next 15 minutes.
So
It was actually, I waffled. 5 people watched me, but I waffled. Anyway, that's the end of that. We are back tomorrow at 10 to 3. Me and Philip will be doing a pre-record with our predicted lineup that will be coming out tomorrow evening around 9 o'clock tomorrow night. That will be coming out. It's a predicted lineup, and we'll give you where you can watch it, the injury news, and me and Philip's sort of final thoughts towards the game. We'll go into more depth with it at 10 to 3 when we do pick up the rest of the questions from here. It's going to be sort of pre-match and anything goes football show. Then we will just then we're going to go over to Formula One at 6 for the sprint race. We'll keep you updated for the sprint shootout as well, who gets polled for that. Thank you again, Mia, for coming on. Always a pleasure. Mia's playing music. Philip, you're a legend as always. I don't know what we do without you on this channel.
Sorry, I'm not just on firing on all cylinders tonight. I'm just one of them a long old day today. So.
Yeah, I think that's true. And look, we've got thank you everyone. Cheers, thank you. And Elvis is leaving the building. He is. He's going to have his dinner. Good luck and don't drop points.
Don't drop points.
Now
no, we won't.
We are gonna. I've always wanted to end up in this, Philip. Where is he? Where's Fred? What's Fred up to? We haven't done Fred for a long time. So what's Fred up to, Philip? Go on.
Bruno Fernandes when he's told he's not captain anymore.
Bruno, when he gets told he's a whiny little what's-it and he needs to shut his mouth.
Yeah. Well, whatever you're doing, please have a lovely evening. We are back tomorrow at 10 to 3. Then we're back with the Formula One on Sunday. And then me and Philip are back Monday with a watch-along where me and Philip will be knee sliding.
Who are we playing again? We're playing Bonnie Rig Rose.
I'd stop myself from saying it, Mia. I realised
Are we playing that plastic team that was going to get sold for like £1?
Yeah, that's it. The Save the Stamford Bridge Brigade. That's who we're playing. Do you know they've got a sponsor now? They've actually got a sponsor on their shirts. Do you know what it says?
Yeah,
we're Chelsea. We're Chelsea and we're crap. That's their sponsors. On that bombshell, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ant we trust on the Ants train. Go on, Mia.
Choo choo.